Okay, so today is going to be like stage 1 of plyometrics and some skill development for sprinting and upper body hypertrophy. So not specifically upper body for sprinting per se or running. So haven't done any sprinting yet, so this is the second session, and it's just 7 days ago I did 300, so we're just slowly acclimatizing to doing plyometrics again and some development work. So today is probably a good example if you haven't done plyometrics in a long time, maybe you're running the horse program and you want to get into a bit of hill sprints again, or you want to do a bit of maybe more intense conditioning, you want to do some different plyometrics. It's probably a decent example. So today I'm going to just be doing some A and B skips. My A skips aren't too bad, B skips are not great. I need to work on them more, the technique of them, and then we'll move on to just practicing some counter movement jumps. So we'll do a little bit of box jumps, but just a bit awkward to set up today. Then we're going to move on to some bodybuilding, hopefully get the whole session done within 45 minutes. I didn't start the hill sprints today, so I actually should be doing some hill sprints, but I'm going hunting later and there will be a lot of hills that I'll be walking up, and hopefully I'll be dragging some stuff up those hills, so I don't want to absolutely destroy myself just yet. So feeling pretty good. So down about kilo and a bit already. So it's funny when you just reduce those carbs by, maybe about 100 grams. A bit aggressive, but I was, eating a lot originally. So on these sessions now, I am enjoying a couple of different things. I'm enjoying the more focused eating. It was a little bit wild, but I did the job. And I'm enjoying sessions where the psychological load isn't so high, the pressure isn't on so much, and it's just a little bit of fun. I'm going to try and make it to a track pretty soon and test like 60, maybe 140 yard dash, something, see what the numbers are, and then we'll see how the progression goes over 2 to 3 months. But the first session of these A-B skips on Wednesday were not great, as in my calves were feeling it. So let's stop yammering and do the first set of A skips. Now I know you're like, oh, and you're hitting the ground so hard. Well, there's 2 reasons. I'm in barefoot shoes. These are field grounds, and this is bare concrete. And I'm 108 kilos, so you guys give me a fucking break, okay? Wait till you see how bad the B skips are at the moment. So not as bad on those today, the A skips. Pretty tough on the calves. I will get some, don't know if I'll get spikes. I don't know if I'll be sprinting long enough to get used to spikes, but maybe I will. But I will get some more cushioned shoes. Everyone thought Sam Sulek was like going to die because he was out of breath so much. So these Rode mics, even with a little dead cat on it, a small little dead cat, it picks up your breathing so much. It makes you sound like you are pre-diabetic, pre-heart attack. But if you're doing them in between sets and talking, it's not great. Okay, so a couple of sets of this. Won't kill my calves too much because I have to squat tomorrow. Do about 5 sets total, up and down of the A skips. Obviously it'd be a lot better on the track, a little softer ground, softer shoes. So not springy. So Dara was like, how are they feeling? Do you feel springy? And it's like, no. No, they do not. Okay, another set. Okay, we'll do one more. The A skips. Calves feel a lot better already this session. Need to get a little bouncier. So I was talking to Blaine McConnell about the shoes he's using. He kind of has these semi-barefoot, little bit of a drop shoe. They're called something movement. I think they're Canadian, so I might get a pair of those. They're quite nice. I hate, those big spongy rubbers Like the Adidas running shoes, Nike running shoes, I hate those. I do not want to use those. I don't think it's a good idea to run in barefoot shoes, not in sprinting, certainly not sprinting, hill sprints or flat sprints. I think you should be a little bit more specialized. Now, maybe could you adapt, possibly over years, and I think you should be wearing barefoot shoes day to day, all the time. I think it's far better. You should be squatting in barefoot shoes or flatter feet, never in running shoes. Okay, let's do another set. Okay, so we're going to try some B skips next. And the B skips, I'm going to try stay in dorsiflexion and cycle through while staying in dorsiflexion. It's a new skill. One of my big problems when I'm sprinting is I'm too narrow when I'm running. Now, you don't want to be uber wide, but you don't want to be crossing in front of yourself, which I'm doing a little bit on the running. It's always been a problem in my sprinting, so I need to stay straighter and not bring the foot in close. It's not that hard to fix, but it's something you need to work on. Okay, let's try a set of B skips. These won't be great. I'm going to do them pretty slow initially, see if I can get the skill better. The shit. So funny, you know, this is what I was talking about in the last training blog, that you learn so much from doing. You don't need to be good at stuff, but you do learn questions, you do learn things from doing stuff. Now that doesn't mean the great coaches can do, and oftentimes, not always, I don't think there's any correlation between a certain level of performance and ability to coach, but it does help to train. Okay, let's try these again a bit slower. So I'm going to go up, forward, keep toe and dorsiflexion. Seems plenty of there. Better. Okay. So I immediately want to point my toe. So big thing with these, you know, obviously you've been training incredibly hard, but even when it comes to learning new skills like this, or relearning skills, or getting used to running stuff again, is acclimatization of your joints and ligaments and tendons, soft tissue, movement mechanics. You want to go slowly. Like when we start a squat cycle or a deadlift cycle or a bench cycle, we go nice and easy, nice and easy. And that's really important. Even with plyometrics, especially plyometrics, go super easy. Learn the skill, no rush, long-term progressions. Okay, let's move on to a little bit of counter movement jumps. Not too many, just acclimatize to those again. We won't kill ourselves with it. And this would be a nice session. You could do these for a couple of weeks. You're 45 years old. You haven't done any running since you're 20. So you're playing rugby, playing GA, playing soccer. You're in your 30s. You're trying to get training again. Just a little bit. Nice and easy. Doesn't matter if the technique is correct. Just practice it. Try and improve. Go easy. Okay, let's do some counter movement jumps. Okay, so normally it's not great to jump off a soft surface, but as I'm acclimatizing, and as I said, in barefoot shoes, don't want to be destroying my joints with 108 kilos crashing down. So still a little bit of hip flexor pain, slowy. So it's nice, you know. So I really need to just spend a bit more time in the couch stretch, extend it out, open it up a bit. It was helping a lot. I was doing it daily with the squatting. Slacked off in the last 2 weeks, so I need to get back on it. Just the right side. So you just seen that last session where I was doing the hip flexor training. It recreated the pain a little bit. Feels a little bit better today. Now it's slightly more on the IT band side of things. I hate complaining about injuries. I hate talking about them. But if we're going to be doing a training session, got to log what's going on. Got to, have to explain why I'm doing something. Now, we could pick box jumps, They'd be a good example, a good start session. But it doesn't really matter right now. Just trying to move the body around after doing nothing but squatting for 4 months. Now I know I was doing jiu-jitsu and some sprinting up a couple of weeks ago, but it's, if we're gonna go ham at something, it's okay. Let's do another set. Okay, a little bit better. A little bit better. Okay, so those came from Dr. Steph of Dr. Steph Performance, of the Chinese national team physio for weightlifting and wrestling, and they were part of my elbow rehab program, which went incredibly well up until the last few weeks of squatting. When I stopped doing it, made huge progress. Now my wrist is sore, so I have to give that a little bit of a break as well. So these were one of the exercises he gave me. This isn't a great bodybuilding exercise. I don't think pullovers are amazing, but this is a great range of motion exercise for my shoulders. So if I do want to do a bit of training again, a bit of weightlifting again, it's great to conditioning them. So start with 5s, you can work up in weight. A bit more weight is better if you can tolerate it, to expose those tissues and force the range of motion a little bit better. He has given me extra stuff, and we will do a full video on that with him and talk through the elbow rehab, because I know a lot of people, funnily enough, a lot of people are wondering, but it's not finished yet, so I can't make that finished video. Okay, so let's move on a little bit to, let's try a 10 kilos. So just curling them in, straighten them out over top, and trying to get essentially as far back as possible within tolerance, and then pausing at the top for literally 1 to 2 seconds, just hold it there for a second. So I don't think of these as warm-up mobility tool. Not the best. Certainly not with plates, at least, for hypertrophy. Pecs are probably more engaged a bit at the top in the stretch. So we're really looking for these as athletes, is to increase their range of motion, that tolerance a little bit in a nice, sensitive fashion where you can control it. So obviously start super light and then work your way into it a couple of times a week, maybe twice a week. So the range of motion actually feels quite good on those, so I'm pretty happy about it. So it should get better as it get lighter as well. Now let's move on to kind of an upper body superset, or some call these couplets. So we're going to do essentially opposing motions. Going to do push-ups, Might do weighted push-ups, and then we will do some. So actually, one of you guys mentioned Meadows rows, which I forgot existed. So let's do weighted push-ups or push-ups and Meadows rows. So do some bilateral push-ups and some unilateral rows. The barbell rows probably put a bit pressure on my wrist just at the moment. Okay, so straight in, no kissing. This wrist is so fucking annoying. Anything I do, just any articulation of the thumb joint and flexion. Whew, it's getting better slowly. Stop complaining. Shut up. So capacity on the push-ups feels very good actually. I don't think there's a single one of my athletes who doesn't have push-ups in their program. There's weightlifters, powerlifters, judo, jiu-jitsu, bobsleigh. What else have I got? Probably everyone has push-ups. If you can't do a couple sets of push-ups, it's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. Okay, let's up the weight on the rows and the push-ups. So 10 kilos, pretty good on the push-ups for today. Needs a bit more on the rows, it's a bit too easy. So I'll pop on a metal 10. Pretty warm in Ireland today, it's like 8 or 9 degrees. So we're in the Bahamas. So hopefully the deer are out and about. Okay, next set, stick with 10. Problem with weighted push-ups with plates is they're kind of hard to load unless you've got training partners. I do not in my shed, so weighted vests would be better than this. Okay, nothing crazy. No. Did he wanted some upper body, plyometrics, skill practice, all done. 45 minutes. Bish, bosh, boosh. So pretty happy with that. A nice little pump in my triceps, my titties, not so much my back, a little bit my back, but probably need to go a bit heavier on those. Okay, hope you enjoyed today's session. Check out the Seek Strength app. at iOS and Android for all your training needs. Dynamic loading adjustment, video exercise library, CoachBot. Me and Dara has an artificial version that you can ask questions from. It's getting better all the time. So check it out, iOS, Android, the Seek a Strength app.